You're listening to the LifeStruction with Eric Podcast. Pardon our dust. We are about to build greatness. Let's go! The LifeStruction with Eric podcast was designed to inspire individuals to make the choice to detach themselves from any and everything that has torn at their infrastructure and no longer grant access to their past. We suggest the tools to create our own unique blueprint so you can live life according to your own uniqueness. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you may be in the world today, I'm grateful for you taking the time to tap in. Welcome to the LifeStruction with Eric podcast. I am your host, Eric. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications so you'll get that update when we start a new video. And if you're listening on Anchor, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, make sure that you subscribe. Today, I'm so excited. I have my first cousin as my guest today. She was diagnosed with breast cancer a few years back, and just watching her fight, she has just vowed to step in the ring and go toe-to-toe with the determination to win. And why is that? Basically, because she knows that it is a fixed fight and what she's already won. So at this time, LifeStruction family, give me and my guest a round of applause, Audrey, as we bring her to the stage. Welcome to the stage, cousin. How are you?
Hi, Eric. I'm fine. How are you?
I am good. So glad to have you take the time to come on and share your story with us.
I'm grateful to be asked to share my story. So I do thank you.
Definitely. Well, let's jump right in. I've known you all my life, yes. But share with the LifeStruction family a little bit about who you are, where you're from and all of that good stuff.
Well, my name is Aurdrey Winfield. I'm from a little town called Wayland, Virginia. I'm married to Roosevelt Winfield, 31 years. I have two sons, Trayvon Winfield and Keon Winfield, two beautiful granddaughters, Kaylee and Mimi. So, yeah. And I have a beautiful family who supports me. I can't leave them out. I don't know where I would be without my family, who I love so very much.
Yeah, family is very important. Support is very important, especially going through, what you have went through. If, so many people are left all alone to try to endure this thing. And, I think depression gets in the way of their healing because they feel that they don't have anyone to turn to, when they're, trying to fight this awful diagnosis. So, family and a support group is very important.
And that's a true fact, Eric. Having support is one of the main ingredients as far as fighting this thing called cancer. It really is the support. I mean, when I was going through it, it was awesome. It was what kept me going, just to know my family was there, my friends was there, whatever I needed. It's like they knew what I needed before I even asked. The support is one of the main ingredients to healing.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's start by sharing, when were you first diagnosed, and was it like a routine checkup, or did you feel that something just didn't feel right?
It was in 2008, and yes, I did feel like something just didn't feel right. Well, matter of fact, I was doing a self breast exam, and that's when I found the knot. And immediately I called my doctor, whom she recommended me to see my oncologist, and that's how it all began.
Wow. So 2008. Wow. So um hearing the doctor deliver the news to you, which included that six-letter horrific word that no one ever wants to hear, what was your first reaction? Walk us through those days and weeks and what followed after that.
When I was diagnosed, of course, it was just like, oh my God, my world had just shattered. I never expected to hear that word breast cancer. I never experienced it. I never, thought I would hear those words when I went in, but of course I did. Upon hearing those words, my older sister had just passed, and it was so devastating. My family was still going through, the mourning of her, and to hear those words for me, it was just like, oh my God, it's no way I can tell them what I'm going through, But
Right,
first,
right.
yeah, I had to deal with the fact, first of all, that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So, didn't want to tell them, didn't want to add any more pain to their life. So I pretty much kept it from them. I did tell my sister Vanessa, who is my everything. She's my right hand. And she just was there. She encouraged me, she just walked me through it. She was there. I mean, the phone calls, the encouraging words, the CDs, the gospel CDs. She was just there for me, and it was hard. I mean, I was numb. It was just like, oh my God, cancer, Lord, why me? And I had to digest it for myself. I went home, I cried, I cried, I cried. And as I was just laying there, I mean, numb to the fact that, Lord, I'm going through cancer. I'm going through cancer. And as I stated, I asked, why me? And the little voice just dropped in my spirit, why not you?
Mm,
Not exempt. Why not you? And I put my strongest soldiers on the front line. So I feel like, you can fight this. You can fight this. And I need my strongest soldiers on the front line so they can be a testimony to the weak, that
right.
nothing is too hard for God. Nothing is too hard for God if you only believe.
Yeah. That's it. That belief and faith factor is huge. It's huge. And I like how you ended that because I know, that you're a woman with strong faith. Our family, that's our foundation. Uh when you tell your testimony, you always talk about how it's a fixed fight. Anyone that's listening, grab a hold of your seatbelt because this may get a little rocky, but let's talk about this.
It's a fixed fight. Well, as I stated, I was diagnosed in 2008. Okay. And then 9 years later, oh my God, it hit again, but in a different way. This time it was in my chest walls and in my bone. So, my family decided to they got together and tried to make something positive out of what I was going to. So that's when they decided, you know what, we need to just do a cancer walk. We need to do something, encouraging. We got the bad news, of course, yes, but we're not going to look at it as a negative thing. We're going to do something encouraging with what she's going through. So that's how the cancer walk came about. And prior to that, my nephew, Mike, he decided, it's a fixed fight, Gigi. It's a fixed fight. So he designed the t-shirt, it's a fixed fight. So when I'm asked what does it mean, it's a fixed fight, um, it's just like, I'm in the ring with cancer, and it's just like, I'm in my corner, cancer's in his corner. The referee ring the bell, Castle come out just jumping up and down, just taking his best shot at me, just swinging at me, and I'm holding on to Castle. I'm so weak. I'm so limp. It's just like, Lord, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't have the strength to fight this thing called cancer. I can't fight it, so I'm holding on. I'm holding on. So the referee just ring the bell. I go back to my corner, cancer, of course, jumping up and down in this corner because cancer know that it has already defeated me because, I was going through like depression. It was the unknown for me, not knowing what to expect, not knowing what to
Mm,
expect. And it was just like God himself just dropped in my spirit. He said, um, I've given you the tools you need to fight this thing called cancer. You know, I you stand on my word, Isaiah 53:5. I was wounded for your transgression, I was bruised for your iniquity. The chastisement of your peace is upon me, and by my stripes you are healed, and I shall not die. Psalms 118, I shall live and declare the works of the Lord. He was just, my strength was coming back as I was remembering all those things he had said to me. He says, my daughter, there's a work I have for you to do. It's no way. You're not going to be burned by this. You
yeah.
might bend, but daughter, you will not break. You have to go through the process. You have to go through the process to get your strength. So, I'm in the corner, I'm talking to God, and and that's what I want to share too. It's okay to talk to God. It's okay to tell him what's on your mind. Well, God,
Yeah.
you said this, Lord. God, you said that, I'm trying to live right, doing the best I can, standing by your word. This is the things you said to me. And now, God, where are you? Where are you in this fight? I can't feel you. I can't trace you. Lord, where are you in this fight? And he's, daughter, I'm right here. I'm right here. I've gone
Mm,
before you. I've gone before you to make your fight easier. And as I begin to talk to him and I'm listening to the words he's dropping in my spirit, my strength began to come back and I start bouncing back up, go back into the ring with cancer. I'm good now. My God has told me, what he's going to do for me and who I am and who he is in my life. He will never leave me or forsake me. You got it. You got it. So I'm in the ring with cancer and I'm just throwing out all these scriptures to him and it began to get weak. And as it began to get weak, I just took that one fist and I just sucked it out. It's a fixed
yeah.
fight. It's a fixed
Yeah.
fight, daughter. You have
Yeah.
won all the time. You had everything you needed to fight this fight. But somewhere along the way, you got weak. You got weak.
Yeah.
Your faith wavered. Your faith
Right.
wavered. No,
Right.
you're strong. I have you. So,
Yeah.
as I began to, just speak on God's goodness and the scriptures and the words he was speaking to me, my faith began to elevate. It began to elevate to no end. It was like no matter what the doctor said, Eric, it didn't matter. God
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
me. And I
Right.
knew it within my spirit. He had me. So, yes, I went to my appointments. I took my medicine. I did everything I needed to do. Because in the end, I knew I was going to win because I knew God was my champion. He's my champion. He's my
Yeah.
champion. So my fight was fixed, but I just had to have the faith. I'm sorry, the faith to trust and believe in his word. As the scriptures say, faith without works is dead. And it is. It is. Even though, okay, I have faith, but you have to act on that faith. You know,
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Right.
sometimes the enemy put thoughts in your mind. He even showed me pictures of myself. I was weak, lost my hair. My family had to take care of me. I couldn't do anything for myself. But then, as I get up in the morning, all these thoughts, negative thoughts in my head, I shall live and not die. I shall live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. And in Psalms 53:5, I just continued to recite those scriptures, just spoke them daily over my life. They became my national anthem. And I'm here, y'all. I'm here. I didn't have to go through any harsh chemo. And the thing is, my belief is faith. If you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, God, you have benefits. You have benefits because as I was going through my treatments and things, I was going through my treatments, and when I went in 2016, when I was diagnosed with it in my chest wall and in my bone, my oncologist, he was like, "You're so young. I want you to have the best care possible." He said, "I know, about cancer. I studied cancer, but I want you to have the best possible care. I'm sending you to Duke University." That was on a
Mm,
That Thursday, me and my family, we went, they was behind me. We went, okay, Lord, if this is what I have to do, then this is what I have to do. I'm going to do, but I know the fight is fixed. I'm just going to go through the process. So when I went in, my oncologist, he came in, he was like, good news. I'm like, good news? He said,
Mm.
yes. My team and I, we studied your case, and you're not a candidate for Duke. You're not a
Wow.
candidate. And let me tell you, I couldn't wait till the battle was. I started shouting, praising my God.
There
Right,
it is. You
I'm
better
not
have.
ashamed to praise Him. I'm not ashamed, and I just praised Him and I glorified Him because I knew it was Him. It was nobody but Him. They looked at my scans and. No, the mass is so large, we can't treat this. You need to go to Duke and then go back on a Thursday. I'm not a candidate.
Mm,
A candidate for Duke. Yeah. Yeah. God is awesome. He's awesome. Your
amazing.
faith has benefits. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Faith is a huge part of healing.
Yes, it is.
Faith is a
It
huge
is.
part of healing. We see, the slogan faith is the cure. And I totally believe, and like I said, once again, we come from from a family with the
Exactly. Yeah.
foundation of prayer, uh, you know, plenty, a huge part of our family is heavily anointed.
Yes.
And, we've seen all types of diagnosis, be shrink up, dry it up, and people in remission for years. So, like you said, when you was torn about why you with cancer, and God said, why not you? And
Exactly.
since you humbled yourself and walked it out, he was like, why not you, that I heal?
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, so many people, they reject their healing because they never activate their faith, you know. So basically, you can't expect to be healed and you have no faith. You can't expect to be healed and you
Exactly.
won't fall flat on your face and pray. And like you said, it's okay to talk to God.
It's so
It's okay to talk to him because that's what he
yes.
wants.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. But you can't just talk to him when you're pushed in that corner. You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
the entire time you in that ring fighting, you got to keep talking to him. And when you done won, you still got to keep
Yeah,
talking to
gotta
him.
keep
Because a
talking.
lot of
Yeah.
times we get the victory and then, well, we don't need him no more.
It's
No, yeah, no, yes, you do. Yeah. So I love everything about it. Love everything about it. And it's just crazy because, what, 14 years?
yes.
And 14 years, and I've just seen, the growth in you. I've seen you, you walk it out, and it's just amazing because there's going to be so many people that your story is going to touch. Your story is already touching, you know, a lot of people, but it's going to be so many more people because I have this lady that I work with, and she got diagnosed a few months ago, and but she's a woman of God, a woman of faith, and people is like, and I don't know how she's walking around to work shows up to work every day with the hugest smile on her face, you know, and she tell people, don't worry about me because God's got me, you know,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
it's no way that I'm gonna be disrespectful to him and walk around, looking all sad. No, because that's being disrespectful to him.
Yeah.
So, and that's how you win.
But
That is how you win.
what really blows my mind about God, when I was diagnosed in 2008, um, I just had radiation. 2016, it was a little more advanced. So they did put me on chemo pills, not the harsh, chemo. I was able to take a oral chemo pill. Um,
Uh-huh.
but the thing that I love about God, I started out taking, I had to do CT scans like every 3 months. It went from every 3 months to every 6 months. And now I'm at a year. But each report from 2016 up to today, no evidence. That's what's on the results. The results that
Yes.
I get, it states no evidence. So it's just like God just burned it off me. They can't see any evidence where there was cancer in my body.
Wow.
That just blows
That's
my mind.
yeah. Yeah.
Blows my
Wow.
mind.
You
Yes.
know, it's just I love it. I love it. And I mean, you know, once again, and I'm sorry if I keep talking about my family and this is my cousin,
Don't be.
and I'm sorry, but you know, we we've had some disasters,
Exactly. Yeah.
we've had some loved ones that it was a shocker to lose them out of nowhere, but for the most part our family has been truly blessed when it comes to people being healed,
Yeah.
your brother, your sister,
Yes.
my mother. We have cousins and uncles and man, and I mean people just diagnosed with cancer, and we've had I have people out here in Arizona that have been waiting on the list for a long time to receive a kidney. And when I look at God's grace over our family and the cousins and that got their liver transplant and kidney transplant, sorry, and they're doing amazing, and they're not just handing out kidneys today. you
No,
know
they're not.
so
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a blessing. It's a blessing how God has his hands over our family. But once again, you have to be faithful and believe, like you said,
Yeah.
that by his stripes
Yeah.
that you will be healed in order for him to walk it out.
That's so true, Eric. So true. So true.
Yeah, definitely. So, we touched base on it earlier about your support group. In what ways did they just help you to kind of see this thing from a different standpoint, and what ways have they empowered you?
When I first told my son Trayvon is 16, um, and that's the thing too about having to tell my family what I was going through. It hurt me more to see them emotional than I wasn't thinking about myself. It
Hmm.
did, to see them so emotional, that was the breaking part for me. But, once he gathered his thoughts, he called me. He left the house. He came, called me back. He said, "Mom," he said, I had to adjust to what you were saying to me. He said, but I prayed and God told me to tell you your healing is in your mouth. So that
Mm,
being said, it was just like, okay, okay, because I'm already speaking, I'm healed, and to hear that, that's confirmation. Um, Keon, he's a quiet type. He keep his feelings inside, but Roosevelt, he was so supportive. So, and then my nieces, my mom, my sister, my bro, everybody had a major role in my healing. They would not let me have a pity party.
yeah,
Not in the beginning, 2008, when it was all new to me, they would not let me have a pity party. They were such encouragers. They was just there. They was what I needed at the
yeah,
time to help me
yeah,
get through.
yeah. Yeah, because that pity party is definitely
Yeah.
not going to help you through. So,
Yes.
yeah, that's a good deal. So, as we know, this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Are you doing anything special to bring awareness? I know last weekend was the big
Yeah.
walk.
Which was it was a huge success, huge success. And I'm a talker, and when I'm in the store, like the day before the walk, I went in the store to purchase some items, and the cashier, because I was purchasing the items, she shared her testimony with me. She told me she was diagnosed like maybe a month ago. So, and that's my thing. I love my It's a Fixed Fight shirts. So I do It's a Fixed Fight package with my shirts, a lot of little support items, encouraging items I put in the bag. So
Hmm.
I love doing that. My little personal It's a Fixed Fight. Yeah, giveaway. Yeah. So, And then I spread the word about cancer awareness, and of course I give my testimony, and I let, the people that I come in contact with know that if God did it for me, he has no respect for person. If he did it for me, he definitely can do it for you. Your faith just has you have to line your faith up with this word, and you have to stand on it. So I try to encourage them with that.
Right. Right. Definitely. Definitely. So, you know, for people that just not I would say aware of how important it is to make sure you're getting those annual checkups, or is or pretty much just what age is it really that you should really start to get those checkups?
But I feel like if your family has a history, I don't think no age, you're not too young to start getting a checkup, but it's like 40, 45. But like
Uh-huh.
I stated, if there's a history in your family of cancer, breast cancer, then I feel like no age is too young, too early to start. And talk to your family physician, whoever, and let them know, about your family history and see if you can have, but it's so important to have a yearly mammogram. Get that mammogram every year because early detection is the key.
Yeah.
Early detection is
Yeah.
the key. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. And things are so much more advanced now. If you get that early detection,
detection. Yeah,
yeah, it's like a lot of times it's almost like pretty much, you know, you are like way ahead of the odds. If you get it done, the odds are not against you. But yeah, that's very important. And for anybody that's listening or watching, don't be afraid to go to the doctor. The most painful thing that you will experience is walking around not knowing. You're
mhm,
feeling something, but you're not knowing what it is. And at the same time, you're scared to go to the doctor to get checked out. So, because think about it. You walking around for 2 years, not, scared to go to the doctor. And that's 2 years that if it's something, you know, cancerous, that's 2 years that it's growing and
mhm.
spreading on the inside of you. So don't be scared to go to the doctor, insurance or not. But I mean, really, if you work in a 9 to 5 and you have insurance, you have no reason not, to go to the doctor. But, I hear it all the time, I don't do doctors, I'm scared of what the doctor going to say. But you call yourself a God-fearing man, a God-fearing woman, but you scared of what the doctor going to say, something isn't right there.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. So to anyone that's watching or listening, that may, have just had a recent diagnosis, or kind of to piggyback on what I just said, what inspiration could you leave them with?
Um, just know that no matter what you're going through, you have to link up with God. You have to hook up with God, you really do, because there are times when we go through things. I mean, and sometimes it seems like it's so powerful that you feel like it's taking you over, but your faith, I'm telling you, faith will get you through. I mean, mentally, physically, emotionally, it will get you through. It will. And last, as I stated, early detection is the key. It is the key. And don't be afraid to go to the doctor, get your mammogram. And also, if they tell you something that you don't really feel like is not really, you're not feeling it, don't be afraid to ask questions. It's your
Right.
body. You ask
Right.
questions, you know, and if they want to give you a treatment or whatever it may be, you have them explain everything. Never leave out a doctor's office not knowing and fully understanding. You ask questions. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that's the thing, it's a lot of times, the doctor tells us something and we be like, "Oh, okay." And sometimes because you have some doctors and they talk so fast because they know that you're going to agree to everything that they telling you. and then they're out of the room. And I forgot I forgot if it's 15 or 25 minutes. This lady came to our church one time and she was telling us about, when you go in for your doctor's appointment, she was like, don't be afraid to, like you just said, to ask questions. She was like, per your insurance, the doctors have is somewhere between 15 and 25 minutes that they bill your insurance. Make sure you're getting all of that time.
Right.
Not
Right.
unless you're out of questions, but make sure that you're getting all of that time because they'll be in and out of the room. You're getting charged for it. And they were really done with you within 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I asked my doctor all types of questions. He know when I come in, it was like, oh well, we're gonna be here for 30 minutes.
And if you have questions, I mean, sometimes you have questions and you get to the doctor, they say something, they might kind of like get you off focus. Write your questions down before going in.
Right,
Write them
right. Yeah,
down.
because definitely you will lose focus, especially if you're
Yeah,
there for something that's kind of overwhelming. Uh, you definitely will lose focus. So yeah, I agree. Write those questions down.
yeah,
Use these smartphones for what they're worth. You got a notepad in there. Go in there and yeah, definitely ask questions.
definitely.
So,
Yeah.
is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
Well, I just want to say it's a fixed fight, y'all. It's a fixed fight. And just trust and believe God can do anything but fail. Anything but fail. And there's times where sometimes, the process seems to be so overwhelming, but just know He's still there with you. My situation, I tell people, was like the footprint in the sand. Literally, it's like He just picked me up and carried me through whatever I was going through. I didn't feel, I mean, I did radiation 36 treatments. I worked every day, no side effects. I mean, He just picked me up and carried me through my process. He did. And at the end of that process, the fight was already fixed. So, yeah.
Picked you up and carried you through the
Carried
sand.
me through the
Wow.
sand.
Yeah.
It was only one set of footprints, y'all. But
Wow.
carried-
Whew. Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And hey, if you've been recently diagnosed or you're battling with it right now, he can do the same
You can do the
thing
same
for
thing
you.
for you.
The
Yes.
same thing for you. Yeah. So don't be afraid. But more than anything, make sure, something we talked about earlier, make sure you have that support group. Make sure you're not walking this thing out alone.
Yeah.
Make sure, the only people that you have to depend on is not just the doctor and nurse, that they go to, that you're going to. You have to have that support group.
Exactly.
And, if you come from a family where you just feel like you don't connect with your family and you really don't have any friends, there are plenty of support groups out. They have hotlines that you can reach out to, but this is nothing that you have to go through alone.
True. True. Yes.
Definitely, it's nothing that you have to go through alone. So I'm just so honored and blessed to see, where God is about to take you to as you continue to tell your testimony and he didn't heal you just to heal you. He healed you because
Eh,
you have purpose on your life. And obviously, you're walking it out, you're being obedient, you're telling your story, you're empowering other women, but I just feel like it's so much more. You haven't even touched the realm that he had for you to touch on. So I'm excited to see, where he pushes you through. And I'm not even gonna be shocked when I get a call or a text from you and you be like, guess what? I remember when you said, yeah,
Yeah.
it- yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
As the
just those
song say, "Where He leads me, I shall follow. I will
right.
follow."
That's it.
Yes. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. And even with me doing this, sometimes, I'm like, I don't even feel like doing it. Ain't nobody gonna watch. And then he speaks to me and say, "Did I tell you to stop?" You know, or I get a text message, or I get an inbox. Your show last week really blessed me. I thank you so much for what you're doing. I'm like, okay, God, dang, okay, okay, I'm gonna keep going.
That's right.
But yeah, he has his way of speaking to us, and if we trying to ignore him, he'll let other people speak. He'll speak through other people to get to us. So it's amazing.
So amazing. Yes.
Amazing. So, yeah, to anybody that may be watching for the first time, thank you so much, for tapping in to watch this podcast. Be sure, to share it, continue to share it. There are plenty of people that need to see this. So continue to share it. Like I said, if this is your first time watching, make sure you tap in and continue to watch. I'm also on YouTube. We have the Spotify and Apple Podcast audio version of it as well. Everything is LifeStruction with Eric. You can also follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of those. So definitely connect with me. And we just truly believe in, we all, you know, may have different backgrounds, but all of our stories are
Yes.
similar. It's something that tried to take us out, but we were able to bounce back better. And that's my slogan, bounce back better. Not only did I survive, I bounced back better. So, you know, if there's someone in your family that's going through it, just call them today, text them today, tell them you love them, you praying for them, and that just may be the push that they need for the day to bring a smile, you know, to their heart, to just ignite, their will to just live one more day and just depend on God. Because sometimes we have to do it, second by second to equal up to a minute, minute by minute to equal up to an hour, just to get it through the day. And a lot of us, we get so carried away with our own lives that we forget that there are a lot of people out there suffering, from cancer, child abuse, physical abuse. One of the things I'm getting ready to touch up on, and a lot of people may not be ready for it, pornography. That's a big one. And there are a lot of people that I've been coming across here lately, and it's people that's just battling and struggling with these strongholds. Some of them are, physical um, illnesses, but then there are also some mental strongholds that people are going through. And that's what life structure is all about. We just try to connect with people and just try to coach and mentor them to see that there is a better side to this thing that we call life. And if you latch a hold of God,
Yes.
like you said, he will go forth in front of you and fight for you. So all you have to do is walk it out.
Walk it out. Yeah.
Yeah, just walk it out. So, yeah. So I'm just grateful, and I applaud you for the amazing fight that you put up.
Thank you,
And
Eric.
I'm
Thank
grateful for you seeing value in me and giving me the opportunity to have you on my podcast. So thank you, thank you, thank you
thank
for
you. It's a privilege to be here on your podcast.
definitely,
It was.
definitely, and we'll definitely be doing it again. We'll
Okay.
definitely be doing it again. So yeah, love you, love you, love you. You
Yep.
enjoy the rest of your evening, and for all of you guys that's tuning in, thank you for tapping in. And hey, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe out there.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Enjoy
You're
your day.
welcome. You too.
Love you.
Love ya.